So it can be a little confusing to look at some code and determine what will be happening at the end of the program. And so we will develop a skill called hand tracing that will allow us to step through our code line by line and keep track of the state of all variables. And when I talk about the state, I mean what is stored inside those variables. So some vocabulary we need to talk about. So this little equal sign is the assignment operator. So on this first line, how I would say this out loud is num1 is assigned 0. Another way I could say that is num1 is set to 0. Okay, we don't say equals because this is not the equality operator, and this is not algebra, so we wouldn't do something like x equals x plus 3, right? You wouldn't say equals because x is not equal to x plus 3. In coding, what this says is take the value of x, add 3, and then put the result back in x. So x is assigned x plus 3. So get used to saying is assigned or set instead of is equal, because a lot of students will think this is like algebra, but it's really not. Okay, so hand tracing. So starting at the top, we want to make a column for each variable that is in our program. So I'll have num1, and that's assigned the value 0. So I'll put a 0 right there. And then on the next line, on line 3, num2, it is assigned 0. And then on line 4, sum is created, and it's assigned the value of num1 plus num2. So 0 plus 0 is 0, so sum has a value of 0. And then on line 6, you can see that we will assign num1 10. So now I'm going to cross out what was there before, and I'm going to put a 10 there. Okay, and it's really important that you cross out what was there before, because as your programs get more difficult, you need to keep track of, what is in that variable. And then on the next line, this says num2 is assigned num1 times 2. So a little bit more information about the assignment operator. The expression on the right is always evaluated first, and then the result is put into the variable on the left. It always works that way. So this would be evaluated first, num1 times 2. Well, num1 has 10 in it, and then times 2 would be 20, and so that is put into num2. Notice sum did not change, right? There was no statement in the code so far that said to update sum, and that's another mistake that students make. They think that they've set sum to an equation and that every time num1 and num2 update, it will update sum. Well, coding doesn't work like that. The computer will only execute each statement one at a time, and it never goes back unless you tell it to. Okay, so pause the video and think about that before going on, because that's a really important concept. And then in the next line, line 8, it says assign 7 to num1. Okay, that didn't change num2, and it didn't change sum, right? We're just doing one thing at a time. Computers are very literal. They'll only do exactly what you tell them to. Remember, they don't infer. They don't think, oh, they meant to add num1 and num2 again and update sum. Nope, they don't do that. They only do exactly what's told. And then I'm going to print num1, num2, and sum. So it should print down here num1, num2, and sum. So let's go ahead and run that. Run. And you can see it does print out 7, 20, and 0.